Hello everyone. Today let's explore an elegant problem centered around operator properties, and we are breaking down this question from the Indian Statistical Service ISS 2026 statistics paper. So, as we have discussed before, the ISS is a premier nationwide comparative civil service examination administered by the UPSC, and it looks for the professionals with the exceptional mastery over the advanced mathematical and the statistical disciplines to steer the national data systems. And in their papers, the questions involving operator algebra are incredibly common, and they test whether you can manipulate the abstract algebraic operators without getting lost in the tedious brute force function expansions. So let's read the question first, then we will solve it. Okay. So question says, if the internal interval of the difference is h, then what is delta square by e to the power x into e to the power x by delta square to the power x is equal to what? And there are four options. Option A says 1, B says e to the power minus x, C says e to the power x plus h, and D says e to the power x. Okay. So, before manipulating the expression, let's formalize the definitions of our two key actors. The forward difference operator, that is the delta, and the shift operator, that is E. Okay. So first, let's talk about the shift operator. Okay. So when E acts on a function f of x, it advances basically the argument by exactly one step size h. So E into f of x, this is f of x plus h. Okay. Now second, we will talk about the forward difference operator, delta. So when delta acts on f of x, it measures the change in the function over one interval width. So delta f of x, this is f of x plus h minus f of x. Okay. So notice that we can substitute f of x plus h with e of f of x inside the forward difference equation. Delta f of x, this is equal to e f of x minus f of x. So this is equal to e minus 1 f of x. Okay. And since this holds for any well-behaved function f of x, we deduce an iconic operator relationship. Delta is equal to e minus 1, that is e equal to 1 plus delta, right? Now, let's address something vital. Can we treat these operators like the standard algebraic numerators? Let's clarify this. Okay. So, in the finite difference calculus, the operators like delta, E, and the identity operator behave exactly like the standard polynomials because they are linear operators that possesses the cumulative property when acting on the constant coefficient environments. So, this means that for any real constant C1 and C2, delta E f of x, this is E delta f of x, that is del E is equal to E del, or del square E, this is E del square. Okay, because they commute and distribute normally. So you can factor, cancel and simplify the rational expressions containing delta and E exactly if they were everyday algebraic variables like x or y. Okay. Now, Armed with the knowledge that these operators commute, let's write out the entire expression given to us and look at it strictly through the structural lines. So expression is delta square by e to the power x into e to the power x by delta square e to the power x, right? So let's unpack what the first bracket means. Hmm. So the operator notation delta square by e into e to the power x simply means the operator delta square by e is operating on the function e to the power x. So we can rewrite this cleanly as delta square e to the power x by e into e to the power x. Okay. So let's plug this interpretation back into our full product expression. So expression is delta square e to the power x by e to the power x into e to the power x by delta square e to the power x. Okay. Now look at the numerators and the denominators. They are standard real numbers representing the value of the functions evaluated at x. Okay. So the term e into e to the power x in the denominator of the first fraction matches the term e to the power x in the numerator of the second fraction perfectly. So they cancel out, and the term delta square e to the power x in the numerator of the first fraction matches the term delta square e to the power x in the denominator of the second fraction perfectly. So they cancel out as well. So this is basically 1. So everything collapses symmetrically to 1, which corresponds to our which option? Yes, option number A. So option number A is the right answer for this particular question. Now, some students might feel a bit hesitant about cancelling the operators out so loosely. So let's verify it by expanding the terms explicitly using our function f of x equal to e to the power x. Okay, so let's find e to the power x. E into e to the power x. So e to the power x is equal to e to the power x plus h. Now let's look at the term delta square by e to the power x. Now since delta is e minus 1, we can rewrite the operator fraction inside delta square by e. This is e minus 1 whole square by e. So this is e square minus 2e plus 1 by e. So this is e minus 2 plus e inverse. Right? Now let's apply this expanded operator to our function e to the power x. So e minus 2 plus e inverse e to the power x, this is equal to uh, e to the power x minus 2 e to the power x plus e inverse e to the power x. So this is e to the power x plus h minus 2 e to the power x plus e to the power x. Okay, x minus h. Now let's calculate the value of delta square e to the power x directly to see what equals. So delta e to the power x, this is e to the power x plus h minus e to the power x. So delta square e to the power x, this is equal to delta e to the power x, this is equal to delta e to the power x plus h minus e to the power x, right? So this is equal to e to the power x plus 2h minus e to the power x plus h minus e to the power x plus h minus e to the power x, right? So this will be equal to e to the power x plus 2h minus 2 into e to the power x plus h plus e to the power x. Now if we multiply our parts as laid out in the original expression, So expression will be e to the power x plus h minus 2 into e to the power x plus e to the power x minus h into e to the power x plus h by e to the power x plus 2h minus e to the power 2 into e to the power x plus h plus e to the power x. Right? So let's distribute e to the power x plus h into the first bracket. So numerator will be what? Numerator will be e to the power x plus h into e to the power x plus h minus e to the 2 into e to the power x plus e to the power x minus h. That is equal to e to the power x plus 2h minus 2 into e to the power x plus h plus e to the power x. Now notice that our numerator matches our denominator exactly. So e to the power x plus 2h minus 2 into e to the power x plus h plus e to the power x by e to the power x plus 2h minus 2 into e to the power x plus h plus e to the power x. So this is equal to 1. So both the methods yields the exact same answer, confirming option number A is beyond our doubt. Okay. So as we conclude, observe how much time we saved by utilizing the algebraic properties of the operators in our first solution versus the brute force functional expansion in our second approach. So in a high stakes examination like the UPSC ISS, your ability to spot that the linear operators commute allows you to treat the operational expressions exactly like the scalar fractions, and the specific fraction chosen, whether it is e to the power x, sine x, or a giant polynomial, that is completely irrelevant because the operator structure cancels itself out globally. Okay, and are there any questions regarding the relationship between delta and the e, or how we manage the structural cancellations? If you have, ask me. Okay, so see you in the next session, guys, with a new question. Till then, bye bye.